Beware that lurks in the dark. Come sing a song of winter. Rhyme of the Frost Maiden. Okay, and we are live.
Missed this as well. I think he's both did. If you create a token in Hero Forge and it's got a square base, and send me the file and $5, and I'll get it printed.
Oh, cheers.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing.
I got a friend
sounds
with a
good.
printer who's happy to print one mini per person in the campaign.
That's pretty cool.
I like that he set those standards as well. Like, no, you can't have 20. No, you can't have 200. No, you can't empty your bank account on me and then make me print stuff for the next 3 years.
Well, he has a pretty big print queue himself. So like he does Warhammer.
Yes. Yep.
Oh,
So
wow.
So when they release the free sets every month, he prints out most of that.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's going to be a huge amount.
Yeah, so he does a lot of printing.
Yikes. Yeah, that's pretty nuts.
He is, though, eventually going to upgrade his printer and get a new one, so
Oh my god.
I might end up with a printer, who knows?
Yeah, never know.
Yeah, because I'd like 25 versions of Sterling in like 8 different poses.
As long as you paint them all, Wayne.
That's what I get Jess for.
She's become
I
the
should be
expert.
offended, but the fact that I enjoy painting makes me less offended, so...
Excellent.
That is true. Simon.
Yeah.
So I was a little confused on I'm not been reading correctly, but like I said, next week I got pre-released, so like I'm doing Friday evening, and then Saturday I think the game finishes at 7 p.m. So I'm free after that. But don't make your arrangements around me. I'll just come if it's still going. I'll come, and if it's not, then that's it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking I'll just have dinner about 6, and then I don't know, kick off about 7 or 7:30, and go.
Is this on
until
Friday?
We stop. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, because I think on Friday I'm going to finish probably about 11, so it might be a bit late.
At night.
Yeah, because pre-release, there's 2 games on Friday. There's a 3 o'clock, I think that goes from 3 till 7, and then 7 till 11 usually takes about 4 hours.
Oh, right.
Jesus.
Whereas the Saturday
Yeah, no,
game...
most other people said that they could come, so I thought I'd go ahead with it.
Oh no, that totally makes sense. It's absolutely cool. No.
I'm in for Friday, but I made plans about 2 days ago for Saturday, so...
Yeah, that's all
Sorry.
good. I'm just testing the water. Like, I don't... When you get... Not to sound morbid, not to sound funny, but when you literally get to, like, 42, you don't really give a shit about your birthday. And this is a big one. I don't really care. Like, just give me the stuff.
Just forget them.
Give me what you bought me.
Just forget
Okay,
that
I'll
happened.
keep that in mind.
I still haven't done anything
You've saw
for mine,
nothing.
that was the 30.
No, I thought you were turning 30 next year.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, we went through this.
Yeah, it does sound better.
See, I
And
changed...
then when we get close to his birthday next year, he'll say, no, I'm turning 30 next year.
And so it continues.
Jeez.
Please.
Don't even like make that sort of joke. I'm 2 years away from 30.
Yeah, you're gonna turn 30 before I do.
Oh Jesus.
I wonder if I should change Sterling's haircut.
Ooh.
I should. I'll
What, to
explore.
match the token, or?
Live dangerously.
Yeah, I quite like the token. It's just, Hero Forge, it's limited by my imagination, and I'm not that imaginative as far as... I'm not an artist, if that makes any sense.
Oh, you
There are
are.
some good suggestions. I was gonna suggest Dumb and Dumber bowl cut.
Well, I actually did the first thing that you normally do on Hero Forge when you're me, and like I gave him really long hair and boobs, and then
Should have just rolled with that.
Jesus.
play around with it for a little bit, and then I go, okay,
Now I'm talking moves.
I better turn him into something more macho.
Stop.
Jesus,
Stop.
it's Sterling, not Lara.
It's okay, Wayne. I was going to say, when I started the mini for Nalor for our Wednesday campaign, he did start as a she with boobs and a booty.
So way to go. I'm sure. I'm
It's
sure
still
Jess.
there, you just can't see it. It's a little bit more of a masculine booby and booty now.
Well, Jess, if I know you, I'm sure you'll touch something when you're not supposed to, and then genders or races will change.
Oh, well, he did start as an elf, so yeah, race changed.
He's turned into a dwarf.
Oops. All right. Well, I guess we might as well get this session on the road. Gives a bit of time to cover some stuff, see how we go.
Sorry. No.
Let's.
Please no.
Please no. Wait, are you talking to me or the dog?
Oh, the dog.
I
Sorry.
feel like this might happen multiple times through the story. You'll be like, no, please don't. It's like, what? No. No, all
I'll
good.
have to start push to talk just for that reason.
But the context is fantastic.
Yes. No, please no. Don't kill me now.
Oh, jeez. Now I'm worried about the dog.
Anne? Oh, yeah. Oh.
All right.
Bless you.
So,
No, I just ate, speed ate some nachos with homemade guac and homemade chili, but I've got a lot of chili in both of those. So. Whew.
all right. I
Feeling like it was pink as Simon.
guess a good spot to start is maybe just a quick recap of where we were previously and where we are now. So, previously, obviously, we had some time to rest and relax. We had Lara, Sterling, and Kaylin meeting at a gala ball held in Castle Never or Neverwinter. And we also got to meet up with some other folk as well. So we met up with the halfling Carrot, as well as an oddly Goliath-looking, but possibly not quite as tall, Weiss, as well as her very glamorous friend, the Magicianess. As things kind of went through the evening, and the Magicianess managed to put on one hell of a show with a very nice role. There are a couple of bits and pieces that happened throughout the duration of the night. Sterling being given another assignment by the Lord Regent, and basically enlisting the help of everyone in the group in some shape or manner. Everyone kind of tied together, mainly around a dwarf. Which seems to happen a lot. It happened last time, and it looks like it's happening this time as well. Oddly enough, there was actually a couple of options, or a couple of different directions that you guys could have gone in, but that's okay. This is going to be interesting. And part of that direction was basically for the next kind of port of call was the Baron, or Baron Thaddeus, where you basically, we had Carrot started up a bit of a brief conversation with him to basically get a caravan heading to the north, which seemed to be going off in the right direction. A bit of hardballing and some difficulties in trying to deal with him, but it looks like you've got a direction now with your dwarven friend Darlan of Clan Battlehammer. Being able to try get hold of this caravan and start heading north. So as last we left it, we've just come to the end of the gala ball. The night's coming to an end, and everyone's kind of saying their niceties and moving on to the next kind of part of the evening, or maybe to go and get ready for heading north, which has been done quite hush-hush, with the thanks of Sterling being pretty covert about what's going on. So as it stands, you're all together, basically leaving the ballroom now, and heading back towards the courtyard. And I think, as you guys understand, first thing in the morning, I can't remember if there was a time stipulated, sometime in the morning, meeting at an inn that's in the trade district called the Jesters Crown. It's known to be a pretty well-to-do little spot. Nice place to meet, but that's where we stand at the moment. I guess I'll hand over to you guys. And Artemis did. Oh, and sorry, Lara didn't kill anyone, which was unfortunate.
Knights are still young. Sterling wants to visit the quartermaster before we meet up in the morning because he wants to get a couple items.
Absolutely.
First of all, he wants to get some like either hats of disguise or potions of disguise, something like that, where we can take them in the morning.
Mm-hmm.
Just to significantly change our appearance enough so that when we have this meeting with this Baron, we can impress him suitably, but not see who we were. If that makes any sense.
That absolutely makes sense. Makes sense.
At the same time, I also want to grab like cold weather gear for myself, Sterling. Sorry, of course I'm Sterling. Kaylin.
On a very serious note, we should actually already have cold weather gear because we purchased it before we went up into the hills earlier. So unless you somehow in the previous months have lost you should already have it.
Or sold it.
Cool.
You also have climbing gear.
And I'm wondering, Cam, if I can just... is it possible to trade out an item? I was hoping to get an absorbing tattoo cold. I hadn't discussed it with you.
No, that's fine. Absolutely fine.
I put it in the thing.
I can
Sterling's
see it.
getting a tattoo.
Yeah. He's a real... Hey, any good Marine has got a tattoo in a strange place.
That's
Just
right,
no tramp stamps. It's not like at the base of his butt.
Yeah, no. There's no like, was it hand crossbow? You know, that would be his tramp stamp. Or
two crossed hand crossbows at the top of his butt. That's just beautiful. Okay, so after
I have to write to Hero Forge and ask them to add that to their release.
It needs to glitter.
What
it needs to
unique
glitter in the
tattoos?
light.
Yeah, what is it? Hand crossbow tramp stamp tattoos to you know, like because you can put decals on now.
Oh no.
Oh, just do tramp stamp. Don't even like specify and be like,
Anyway,
I want to
cool.
put a tramp stamp.
I would have spoken to Kaylin. Is there like, did you need to swap anything out, or are you good?
I'm good.
Okay.
Nice.
So I assume because
Well,
I don't
actually,
really. I don't really... Sorry, say again.
I do have some spare studded leather and a shield that I do want to get rid of.
Okay. Trust me, you've got a fair amount of distance to cover between here and 10 towns. So you definitely have plenty of opportunity to sell stuff if you want to along the way.
The only other thing is just during the period of time I wanted to get my rapier silvered and adamantined. So it's just normal money. It's not a magical thing.
Okay. It might be a question of time. It might be something to do on the road because
Sure.
at the moment you're posted to kind of leave first thing in the morning rather.
Sorry, that's something I would have wanted to have done on my time off if we had time off.
That's absolutely
the thing.
fine. Yeah, absolutely. If you
Cool.
want to do that in your downtime, then for sure you guys had plenty of time to get something done like that.
Kills. All right, that's me.
Excellent. So after a rather delightful cheese-filled night, the time's come for the gala to come to an end. So as I mentioned, pleasantries are exchanged between the partygoers, including yourselves and some of the other guests. As you all gather in the moonlit courtyard of Castle Never, you see that the cobblestones are now shining a brilliant silver as there is a full moon lighting the night above you. And now with a decent ale in hand, your newfound friend Darlin Battlehammer has emerged with a companion as well. You can see another dwarf is with him, stocky with dark hair, a jolly smile, and strong arms that seem to be absolutely littered with flash burns, which are all telltale signs of being a smith. They both seem pretty animated, if not a little bit jolly, but they seem to be really happy with the way that the night's gone and seem to be kind of waiting for you guys to approach. Is there anything else that anyone else wants to do before heading into the next little bit?
So just to,
Oh, go ahead.
okay, just to confirm, so we're going to meet up with the dwarves, we're going to arrange a plan, and then at some point a little later on the piece, we're going to chug the potions and go meet the Baron.
That's right.
And then, you know, like, we're going to sufficiently impress him with our martial skills to get a discount. That was the aim.
Nice.
Sound about right?
Yeah, so it's still evening. So you guys are going to kind of square out for the night and probably, you know, go and see the quartermaster, get things ready for the morning, and then it'll be time to go and meet with the Baron. And yeah, you'll be adequately kind of cloak and daggered to be able to have a good conversation with him and get out of Neverwinter without being kind of seen.
Yeah, but I mean, Carrot's going to do the, like, here's my crew, you know, and when we'll sufficiently, you know, we'll put targets around and we'll shoot them or spell them or whatever, and he'll see that this is a, you know, a reasonably good, what do you call it, protecting party, whatever you call it,
Nice.
guarding party.
So we're going to be showing off.
Well, I don't know how much
Oh,
we
no.
need to show off, as in, like, you know, I mean, if a couple of us shoot a whole bunch of stuff or whatever, then he'll go, okay, fine, these guys know what they're doing. But I don't know how far we need to push it, if that makes any sense.
I'm going to make an effort to get maybe just slightly more rations than what we need for the journey. I assume they're just sorted things that don't degrade. Is that
I
right?
would like to point out that how many rations do I have? I looked this up last time and it was really ridiculous.
You've got quite a lot of rations.
Oh yes, 69.
Because numbers.
I'd like to get a couple of potions of greater restoration if they're not too expensive as well, depending on money.
Cool.
What was that to me?
How much so
Let's wait till the morning.
Yes.
Wait till the morning. I'm going to get you to
Sure.
make me well, you're going to be walking to the trade district, so you know what? No problem. You're going to be able to find something on the way. But we'll just hang up for just a second. So I don't think there's anything else that's kind of immediately jumping out at the moment. But you do know that Darlan and his other dwarven associate just kind of waves over, not too drunkenly, but he's definitely... dwarves are in different varying states of drunkenness at any given time, so he just doesn't seem as drunk as you'd imagine. But as he kind of waves over, he's like, oh... So, it seems we got a bit of a wee party here that tickles my fancy, but look, if we can haul a caravan to 10 towns, I can come back with another shipment of goods, so I said, let's just be a little bit careful with that Thaddeus. That can be as sly as he is plump, so tomorrow morning at the Jesters' Crown, eh? Let's talk with him there, eh?
So the aim would be to meet up just earlier, right? So we discuss our plan of action.
Yeah, that's
Tomorrow
it.
morning?
Or you can discuss it now, with the way that you want to approach it with the rest of the group, if you want to kind of set something in motion.
So
You've got some time.
we're going to meet him at this particular inn at a certain time, right? And then are
Correct.
we going to or are we going to ask to meet him like near the caravan, put some targets up, I can shoot a few things, someone else can spell something, and then we go, okay, here you go. But I want to do it like disguised, or does that?
That
Anybody
could
else got any
be
ideas?
that could be the plan to go in there and talk to him and say, hey, let us show you what we can do.
But I mean, I assume we're not going to do it inside like a bar where I pull out a hand crossbow and shoot like dart style across the room, you know.
Oh, are you sure you don't want to shoot an apple off my head?
You know what? I could do that. I would. It's just when it's a friend, when it's a
Roll,
friend's
one.
head, it's a
Roll
little more.
one.
Yeah.
I do not have another character made up.
I have healing.
Oh my god.
No, I mean, look. If you think about it, as far as missions are concerned, if you roll a 1, it's still pretty good because you go, "This is what I do to my friends. Imagine what I do to my enemies."
Oh dear.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
bad.
that's pretty cool.
I like how I'm like 50 health when everyone is on at least 70.
I feel like mine's really low.
Constitution, that's the way to go.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. All right. So moving it on a little bit, with the night's festivities now at a close, and everyone seems to be kind of have a general parlay with each other that you're going to meet up in the morning, and the general consensus is that you're going to be obfuscated, you're going to keep your identities hidden, but you are going to basically try and woo this guy with a little bit of martial prowess and show him that you guys mean business, and let's get this on the road. So with that, the party begins to head back to their respective residences that they've been staying in during their downtime, preparing to rest and prepare for the journey north in the morning. So it's at this point that as everyone starts moving off, I'm just going to go kind of one by one, and I did a bit of rolling to see what was going on with everyone. But Kaylin, heading back to the wonderful house that you've been staying in, you feel more than a little unnerved at the appearance of Varys at the ball. You can't help but feel like there are eyes watching you from the shadows. I'm going to make you roll a wisdom saving throw for me.
It's not going to be good.
Oh, so she says. So,
Oh, wow.
even though you feel like there are eyes watching you from the shadows, and understanding the nature of the organization that Varys comes from, or the organization that trained you in how to stay in the shadows, a lot has changed between now and then. Your training and your experience bolsters your mind. Though you feel like there are eyes watching you, you realize that the shadows are yours. They are your domain. Go ahead and roll a stealth check for me. Boom.
Oh, you're plus.
Holy shit.
With that knowledge and with that confidence concealed, you skillfully slip into the darkness from alley to alley. You do not see, no one sees you. From what you can see, the gloom of the shadows seems to just disperse under your vision. It doesn't take long for you, but you find your way back to your home, but you feel extremely confident that no one has been following you home.
Awesome.
So once you're back at home, I'm imagining, because do you require to sleep with your background, or do you just need to go
That
into a
is actually
trance?
a good question. I think I do sleep because I'm only half elf.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, I don't think half elves have reverie.
No, that's all right.
No, I think I still sleep.
Awesome. So look, as you begin packing your traveling backpack and piecing together your belongings and assorted gear, you feel tired. You feel like the night's events have probably taken a little bit more of a toll on you than you thought. Because you rolled so good on your wisdom saving throw and your stealth, you do hear a subtle noise catch your ear out the front of the house. How do you want to proceed with this?
I'm gonna pull out my bow, and just have it to my side and very cautiously go up to the window and look out. Trying to stick to the shadows, but
Nice. And I can't remember, your bow is your packed weapon now, isn't it?
yes.
Nice. So pulling it out, it's more sort of a summon. So just kind of the inky gloom kind of solidifying in your hands as the bow that you've got. As you peer out the window, you don't see anyone out there, but you do see, set about 2 feet away from the entrance of your house where you've been staying, you can see that there is a small glass vase in it, and in it you can see sitting in there is a single silver rose, which you've only seen them one place before in your life.
Oh fuck. Okay. When Kaylin's packing, Kaylin will just step back and ignore it for now. But when she's packing, she's not leaving anything behind. She's packing. She's not coming back here.
All right. Sounds good. All right. That'll bring that to a quick little close. I'm going to move over to Carrot now. Just a really quick one. So look, Carrot's had a tough day. He woke up not knowing what the hell was going on. He's just been to a gala ball that he had no idea why he was there. There's a lot of stuff running through his head at the moment. But with his background, I'm going to say that finding a bunk in the barracks for the night is easy. He's able to find a place to bed down for the night. But you do feel just as confused as you did first thing this morning. There's no real direction, except for this feeling that helping these people felt right. I'm going to get you to also make a wisdom saving throw for me as well. Okay, is it done? Yeah. And look, it wasn't a high DC. So look, even though it's frustrating, you feel okay. It doesn't affect you. So as you settle for a rest for the night, even though there is that frustration at the turn of events, you do feel some clarity. As you begin to drift off to sleep, you feel a peacefulness wash over you. And as you begin to drift to sleep, you begin to dream of a babbling brook. And that trickle of water is calming and very reassuring. There's no words, but you do feel a presence. It's wonderful and welcoming and purposeful. You can't explain it in words, but you know that you're on the right path. So as you drift off, you feel a happiness fill you as you fall asleep.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
I'm going to leave it there. All right, I'm going to move over to the Magicianess before we move on. Look, is there anything that you would like to do before the morning light?
She will have spent the evening, I think, coyly discussing magic with the Archmage over some mead or something, trying to get answers, but speaking with a forked tongue.
I like it. Okay, throughout the night...
But also, double checking with Weiss what, their plans are, like, confirming, like, yes, are we going to join this caravan, so-and-so, do you need me to do anything, etc. But trusting Weiss to be her guide, basically.
Nice. So, having a conversation with the Archmage, there's no bad blood. As you coyly discuss bits and pieces, he didn't seem too overly concerned with picking up on the zone of truth being cast by Weiss. It's a high to do affair, and it's not a party until someone's tried to plunder someone else's mind. But he feels fine about it. But as you discuss some more arcane matters, he does leave a invitation for you to bring the chest that you were asking him about to his quarters later in the night. It also came off slightly odd, like, hey, I'm staying in this room. Here's the key. But up to you. If you want to check in with Weiss and just kind of check in, I'll let you guys do that now. Or if you do want to kind of have a discussion with the Archmage about that particular relic that you've got a hold of.
Or a relic
Well, I think she will just sort of pick his brain about demiplanes and, extraplanar, physics, and she's trying to get information without giving things away. She's trying to find some leads, but she also doesn't know this Archmage and can't quite just, totally come out with what she's got.
Fair enough. So just give me... Let's go with deception to kind of see if we can get some sort of direction in the way that you're trying to plunder that information.
Oh god.
You would say plunder information when she's flirting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh god.
That's right, y'all. This has gone mills and boons.
19.
Oh, pretty good. Okay, so as you have the discussions about planes, he seems relatively knowledgeable, although it's clear after a little bit of flattery and coy smiles that evocation is definitely his bag. That's definitely his kind of direction for his arcane abilities. Even though you were having a discussion within the confines of the gala, what you get out of him is still pretty limited. He definitely discusses the different planes and their attributes and the pros and cons and how hideously devastating it would be for any mortal to step into some of the nastier ones. But he does leave a very open invitation to bring the item in a question up to his quarters or up to his room later in the night, if you wish.
You know what? Can I do insight check on him?
You can, absolutely.
A vibe check.
Vibe check.
Ooh, rough. That's a 2.
Oh, damn. But look, he seems on the level. His demeanor, when you're having a conversation with him previously, it seems, look, he was there partly for pleasure and partly for work. He had a purpose there to provide arcane security to the guests. But as far as you can tell, he seems on the level. He seems pretty genuine about wanting to help you with the queries that you've got.
Yeah. You know what? I will tell him, I will show him the vessel, and I will only tell him as much as I've told Weiss.
Okay.
So I don't mention anything beyond that. I don't understand its properties. What do you make of it?
All right. He does kind of, he offers to give more information, but while he's at the gala, he says, look, just bring it up to my room later, and he kind of moves on off. I'll just leave it open as a question as, do you want to go up to his quarters, or do you want to leave it lie for the time being?
I will let Weiss know where I'm going, and then I will go to my quarters. I go his quarters, sorry.
Okay, no worries. I'll touch base with Weiss really quick. What would you like to do, my frozen friend?
So Weiss is just absolutely thrumming off of the like a nervous kind of energy. She always gets really anxious when she knows she's about to like make out onto the road kind of thing. So she's packing and weighing her stuff and looking at objects and weighing up whether they need to be taken and where they should be placed for the optimum sort of position in her backpack. And she keeps hungrily looking at the magicianess's backpack or what have you, or if they're not showing a room or whatever, then she would be like, how's your packing going? Do you want me to help? Bloody blah, and I can do this and I can take that for you. And she's just really kind of nutting everything out, and she's sort of going through her like mental cartography of the road and how it's going to lead out, and basically really over preparing. Like, this is her bag. She's like in the zone.
This is my bag. This is my life. Which for her background makes sense. You know, she's going to be as efficient as possible, making sure that there is no room for error. You know, minimalist and efficiency are literally the difference between life and death for you out on the road. So that makes sense.
Yeah, she's checking her gear, making sure there's no like faults in the picks or anything like that. You know what I mean? Like in the pitons, she's making sure that everything is gonna operate well because it's a matter of life and death kind of thing. But that's what she's doing.
Nice. Okay. When the magicianess kind of tells you where she's going, just gonna let lie or continue packing?
She'll probably say to the magicianess, did you want company? Did you want me to be there just in case, or shall I just carry on as I am?
It might be best if you are around a corner should something happen, Weiss. Thank you. I would really appreciate it. I feel much safer.
She sort of nods again, sort of somewhat regimentary, and says, "Very well, my friend. You can count on me. I'll be there." And she'll just sort of linger in a hallway or sit on a chair and open a book or scour a map or something.
Nice. Okay. So just to play this out relatively quickly, the Magicianess. So both Weiss and the Magicianess initially heading back to the Driftwood Inn, which is where you've been staying. It's that rough and tumble tavern where you guys have been staying over the last couple of months. Despite making a fair amount of coin, you've still managed to kind of hang out at the Driftwood just with its charm and the amazing card games that you get to play at night as well. But I'm imagining to stay close at hand, Weiss might be following to head back to Castle Never, just a little bit in tow, hanging back a little bit, ready to provide a little bit of security if required. But the Magicianess...
Yeah, as best as she can, like as best as a blue-skinned Triton can sort of blend in.
Nice. It's late, so it's not too hard. So as the Magicianess kind of quickly lopes back towards Castle Never and heading to the Archmage's quarters, curiosity more so getting the best of her to go and find out a little bit more about a particular item that she's holding with her. Gaining entrance back into the castle is easy. There are still people coming and going from the gala. So look, even though it's officially over, there are small little celebrations that are cropping up here and there. But she quickly finds her way to start heading up one of the towers that the Archmage gave her directions to go and have a look at what's going on, have a conversation with them. But as she lopes up and manages to find the right room, just very kind of, I'm guessing, gingerly or confidently or however you'd like to kind of knock on his door to go and make his acquaintance. I don't know, I'll kind of delve into it from here. How do you want to proceed with this?
What was that last part, sorry?
So standing at his door, how do you want to kind of approach this?
I knock smartly upon the door and I go and I say, I have come to bear my mystic vessel and show you my magical chest, Archmage.
Booty call!
It's been passed through my family for generations.
You hear literally a stifled laugh coming from the other side of the door. He kind of opens the door and he's Dragonborn is smiling quite broadly. So please, come on in. There's no need for formalities. Or chests, I hope. He looks a little bit nervous and a little bit embarrassed at the context of what's going on. But he kind of ushers you in. It's at this point that I'm actually going to get Weiss to come and jump over into the Whisper channel.
No,
Okay.
what's happening?
Cool. Oh yeah, I see it.
It's just underneath our general channel.
Okay, so Weiss is in. Who's next?
Oh, I just need the Magicianess in there.
Oh, okay.
Pop on over.
Ooh, it's a threesome.
Oh, look at that. Hang on. Back in a sec. This won't take long. All right.
I expect it to be quick as that. Sorry about that. I was just like, oh, double click and is that right? And the next minute I'm in there on my own going, guys.
Sorry, we'll be back. We'll be back in a sec. I'll just sit in here with the Magicianess for a couple of minutes.
What are we doing?
Oh. You need me to jump out?
Yep, I'm just going to go one-on-one with the Magicianess for just a moment.
Oh, my bad. Sorry.
That's all right.
Yeah, no, but I thought you were supposed to be here too.
She's nearby. She's nearby. So as I'll try to make this quick.
Yeah.
So taking the heirloom through to the Archmage, he's very colloquial. He's very open. Even though he hasn't been drinking, he's been on the job. He does take a moment to kind of pull the chest, kind of step back and say, "Well, show me what you've got. I'm curious. I want to see what this thing is. You say it's been in your family for a long time. What do you understand about it so far, apart from, well, it just seems to be a vessel that seems to be able to fulfill some pretty basic needs. As I mentioned before, it seems relatively simple. There's nothing too crazy about it."
I go, you asked me in the ball, you said you were curious how I did some of the magic I accomplished. And then I reached down and put a hand on it, and sort of black and red, like electricity, sort of, surges from, lightly from the chest and into my hand, up into my body as I sort of, just draw some magic out of it.
Nice.
Just for like a couple of seconds to prove a point.
He looks absolutely mesmerized by the act. He's like, I am extremely curious. Do you mind? And you see him kind of produce a pearl and an owl feather, which at a glance you'd know he's about to perform a very simple identify spell. But as he does so, I'm just going to roll, because rolling is fun. As he rolls, there's not a heck of a lot that he seems to really gather from what he's looking at. But as he spends a little bit more time, you do notice, while he's paying attention to the vessel or the chest, you begin to notice that the room begins to grow dark. There is a chill that seems to start prickling your skin. The cold that begins to kind of emanate from this mist that begins to form on the floor, it hurts. It's like your very bones begin to ache as this floor of the mist on the floor of the Archmage's chamber seems to kind of really start to propagate out and start to waft and cover the floor. There are ragged breaths that seem to wheeze, and the room seems to kind of contract and expand with every single breath. Taking a few moments, you see... I'll go for it.
Sure, go for it. Now, I want to see, does he notice this?
Oh, sure. You see the Archmage is absolutely entranced with performing Identify, and you see him kind of very quizzically looking at the chest, like he's trying to unravel a puzzle. He's trying to figure out what the hell is going on with this thing. You then note that his eyes look up, and they are wide with fear. He looks at the Magicianess and just seems to back off and says, "What have you done?" And you can see that he's quickly kind of pulling back and produces a brilliant ruby from inside one of his pouches, and he begins a very high-level spell.
Do I know what he's casting?
Sure. Roll me an Arcana.
I mean, I have my suspicions, but... Okay. Rolling Arcana. Is he casting at me or at the chest?
It's hard to tell at the moment.
Oh dear. Oh, come on. Oh. This is not great. 13?
Okay. Just with the sheer quality of the ruby that's pulled out, and with your roll, you can see that he seems to be casting Force Cage.
And that's like level 6 or whatever, isn't it?
Yes. So a chant begins on his lips, and his somatic gestures begin as he goes to... He's pointing his hand in your direction, but as he...
Counterspell.
Okay. Let's see.
I need to make an Arcana check that beats 10 plus the level of his spell?
Yes.
Something like that?
Yes.
And I shout, "Weiss!"
Oddly enough, she can't hear you from in here. Level the spell, and Oh no!
Oh no.
So you quickly react and throw up your hand to cast Counterspell. As you do so, you see that his somatic gestures to pull off Force Cage are interrupted. You see that his fingers pop and crack at impossible angles. You can see that the bones in his hands begin to snap and pierce the skin, and a strained scream starts to gurgle from his maw. You can see blood beginning to bubble from his mouth, beginning to pour out and gushing onto the floor. He's trying to make sound, but he cannot.
I cast polymorph on him. I go, let me help you.
As you are about to cast, you hear this sickening voice fill your mind. All it says is, "Naughty little boy." And it's at that moment when you're about to pass polymorph that you see his body contort and pop as his mortal form just breaks and absolutely tears in two, showering the magicianess in a gore of red, painting the majority of the room at the same time.
Oh boy. What can I do here?
You
I-
can see that the room begins to return to normal. The mist begins to evaporate, and that odd breathing sensation has stopped. You can see that the Archmage Krenosim has been scattered far and wide across the room, and his blood is now drenching your clothes, your face, your hands, everything.
Can I upcast? Is there a skull or head remaining? Is there a skull?
No, he's in bits.
Okay, so there's nothing. All right. Can I do anything with prestidigitation to clean up the mess, even if it's a square foot at a time?
Absolutely. You could probably make yourself look more presentable if you want to try get the hell out of there, or
Yes.
yeah, absolutely. You can you can absolutely clean yourself up quickly, and if you want to get the hell out of there, absolutely.
Yeah. I use prestidigitation, clean myself completely, perfume myself a little bit as well, just to get the smell of blood. Grab hold of the chest and cast invisibility on myself,
Beautiful.
and make my way out to my room.
Awesome. Okay, let's jump
Yeah,
back into the other room, and maybe you can approach Weiss and say, "Okay, I'm good to go now."
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Here we go.
I always.
Okay, we're back.
Yep.
Sorry. Okay. I'm going to let the magicianess continue on from here.
I say to the Weiss, you don't see anyone, but you hear Magicianess's voice whisper, and your senses probably pick up her footsteps. She just goes, "Weiss, I'm invisible. Please come with me to my room now and act casual."
Weiss, obviously not. This isn't her first rodeo. She kind of nods, sort of whispers under her breath, "Very well. I can't see you, but I'll make my way to your chamber."
We get inside. I let Weiss. I use telepathy to speak in Weiss and go, "Can you open the door? I'm holding onto my chest."
Oh, Weiss says, yeah. She sort of looks almost as if she wants to offer to help, give you a hand, and then she's like, "No, I'll just." So she just opens the door as she's been asked, and she sort of opens it broadly, so half pretending she's walking in, but also doing it so you can walk behind her.
Yep. So we get in, we shut the door. I tell you, lock the door, and then after you lock it, I break invisibility and Magicianess looks fine. She looks perfectly clean and all that, but she's like pale and a bit in shock. The chest is next to her, and she breaks invisibility and casts Detect Thoughts on you, so that she can read your mind, and then she speaks to you only with telepathy now. And she goes, I took the chest to the Archmage. He tried to identify it, but he triggered something inside. He triggered what was imprisoned, and it killed him. He is now... There's nothing left. There was nothing I could do. There's nothing left of him to resurrect. He is scattered as red mist in that room, and we have to get on that caravan because I can't stay in this city. I've indirectly murdered him. I think there was nothing either of us could do. I tried to stop him. I tried to counterspell his identify. He wouldn't. And she sort of just like puts her face in her hands.
Whites as well. I've known you a while now, but certainly I believe what you say. Can you disguise yourself? I mean, aside from this invisibility, what can I do to help my friend?
She nods and she goes, yes, I think I can manage. I can disguise myself with illusions. I can be invisible. I can manage. But we must get out.
I think it might be prudent if you can use your illusionary magic to make yourself look like the man you just killed, and perhaps announce that you're going away for a while, or looking to go to a university or a monastery or something, so people don't just start wondering where this guy has gone. Perhaps if you were to cover your tracks. If you don't think that makes you...
But the moment they open his door, when anyone goes into his room, it'll just be blood splatter.
Oh, it's not a mist as such. It's just... Oh
I couldn't clean it up. My prestidigitation wasn't enough. I could only clean myself.
This does not bode well. It's at this pivotal point you need to work out exactly how you want to handle this.
I left no trace of myself. I cleaned myself up. I need to maybe close... Is the ball still going? Do I need to close the show? I think we're done, aren't we? I'll just leave first thing. Everyone knows I'm leaving.
If only we had some kind of token that could insinuate or steer away from yourself, perhaps a drow weapon or such. Or
the Zentarim, perhaps. We could frame the Zentarim. They've attacked the... that would embroil that other Baron, wouldn't it? But it would take the heat off. Is there any way? Are you capable of forgery of any kind? Should I go in there and create the appearance of a magical assassination? I mean, I can only assume they will think it was clearly foul play. The man was imploded. Maybe we don't have to do anything at all. Let them come to their own conclusions.
Unfortunately, I'm a simple woman, a woman of the snow plains, as you know. Forgery is not really my strong suit.
That is all right. We will make a show in the morning of leaving the city, perhaps. Just let ourselves be seen. There's nothing else to be done. But maybe I shouldn't disguise myself. Maybe I should make myself visibly leave town. I don't know.
Maybe disguise yourself as the Baron of the Zentarim and walk around loudly, leaving, being seen to leave, not saying anything to anyone, but just get yourself seen.
What if he's seen in two places at once?
Then most people will be confused and suspect more foul play. I'm clutching at straws.
My life is in your hands now, Wise. You have to take me up north. That's the last area. That was. I've exhausted every other avenue. That was the point of my trip. Why I've been saving funds in this city. The north is the only place I have left to search for answers before whatever it is that killed the Archmage, and which has taken my father and brother takes me as well.
Well, on my honor, friend, I will protect you, as I believe you're a good soul and not capable of cold-blooded murder. We do need some kind of contingency, though.
Maybe I will disguise myself and just be seen, a shady character.
Great idea, yeah.
Okay. Well, I will turn invisible again. Go back to like the area, the hotel, wherever that mage has his rooms, and just sort of like cast disguise self and make myself like what I imagine a male Zentarum agent would look like, all black leather, hood, prominent Z logo,
So,
a badge.
as you begin heading back towards Castle Never, you notice that there's a lot more activity. You can see that the guard has doubled. You can see an air of seriousness, and whatever was left of the previous celebrations has been quickly quelled.
Well, I will snoop around whilst invisible, but I won't try to get past the guards.
All right. Roll me a perception. So as you move up to the kind of the perimeter of the castle and begin to kind of listen out for anything, just give me a perception roll. Let's see what is picked up.
Ooh. 18.
Okay, it's a good roll. You can hear bits and pieces of people speaking of murder. You can hear not accusations, but you can hear a lot of orders being issued to basically lock down the castle. Even though there are still a lot of people that seem to be getting ushered out at the moment. From all intents and purposes, from what you can deduct from what you're hearing, they know.
Alright. I return whilst invisible.
Alright.
And I will relay this back to Weiss and say they clearly already know, but...
Alright. So... I'm going to move on to the next little section. So for Sterling and Lara, I rolled for you guys and it was an uneventful night for both of you. So Sterling is able to head off to the quartermasters and go and spend some time in preparing some disguises or potions of disguise self, or any clothing that you want to get hold of as well. You do have unfettered access to the quartermaster here, so you're able to get exactly what you need to pull this off. And for Lara, it's just a sublime night. I don't know if you want to forage for more cheese when you get home. You seem pretty intent on it back at the ball. But
pretty right of cheese, but I am going to get to and just write in my diary.
Okay, nice.
I've managed to. I've got this book, this nice little book and everything, and I've gone and covered it in some of the dragon scales and everything just to protect it, because I quite do like this book.
Nice.
And everything, and just sort of, write into it. And tonight we went to the gala, and we seem to have gone and got ourselves into more trouble, and are off on a new adventure.
Beautiful.
And the words just sort of sit there and look at me on the page.
Nice.
No one else has a key to this. This is my diary, and I just get to, and I make sure to put it in my pocket and pack up well for the following day.
Excellent.
So besides Sterling getting his gear, he'll drop past barracks to say goodbye to some old friends and mates, telling him that he'll be heading to Waterdeep in the morning. So just to let a couple of people know, and he'll be back in a few months' time.
Nice.
Doing a diplomatic tour, following, you know how it is, they always turn you into diplomats after a while.
That's right. Excellent. So everyone, as they kind of bed down for the evening, I'm going to roll something before I forget. That's fine. All right, so as morning dawns and you feel a sense of excitement or possibly dread, depending on who you are, that today is the beginning of the journey north. You note that this morning there's a blanket of fog that's rolled in off the sea, coating the quiet streets. The hour is upon you all, and you begin heading towards the Uptown Inn that is located in the trading district, the Jesters Crown. As you all walk, you can hear that your footsteps are somewhat muted on the cobblestones in the fog, and there are seldom figures that seem to go about their daily routine. There does, however, seem to be more of a presence of the City Watch around this morning, especially the grey cloaks that are patrolling the streets. But before you, you can see, as agreed and expected, you can see the duo of dwarves that you met the night before, both of them sporting pipes that seem to glow dimly in the thick air. And as you approach, you can hear Darlin remarking, "So and that is why she's a pointy-eared bitch." And he kind of trails off for a second there and just regains his composure to greet the party. I'm just going to flick us over to another map. Bear with me for just a sec. I might just have to update Carrot, because...
So we were in something like this. So many bad things happened.
Matt, I think you need to go to push to talk.
No, I've just
I can hear.
been asleep. Like, I went to bed before all this happened. Like, I woke up with a big yawn, a stretch, and I feel exactly like I didn't vaporize a wizard last night.
Wow.
Like, wow, that was a weird thing to say first thing in the morning, but oh well.
All right. So as you approach, you can see the two dwarves, which you would have met, both of them. So Darlin and Barton, which are the two dwarves that obviously of Smith heritage, and that is definitely got to be their thing. But I don't know. Now that you guys are all decked out, I mean, is there a quick little intro here? Now that you guys are slightly more. Or if you just want to explain the Sterling taking a moment to help everyone kind of don new identities before they go ahead.
Well, as far as I know, the only three people that really have to change identity are me, Kaylin, and Lara, because we'd be pretty well known in this, from our exploits, and we were introduced to a whole bunch of people.
Yeah, true.
Whereas the others, as far as I know, don't have any reason to disguise themselves.
That's right.
That I'm aware of.
What are we doing? The Hatter disguise.
Well, it's like a potion to disguise, so it's a consumable. So the aim is to just chug the potion, not lose concentration or whatever, and we just shoot a few things, impress the dwarf. But are you? But I'm assuming are we going, not the dwarf, the Baron?
Surely that can't be hard.
No, but like the aim is not to be like so. How do you put it? You don't want to be so deadly that it's like he starts thinking about it, but he wants to see competent guards, if you know what I mean, or reasonably competent, scary guards, but not like, oh wait a second, that dude's a sharpshooter. Who do we know is like that good?
That's a good point.
So technically, wouldn't I be better?
Hey?
You're good, I'm better.
That's what it says in all the men's bathrooms. I mean,
Lara was you.
Can I subtly stab him?
Sterling doesn't do subtle. Go ahead. In fact, he'll give you a knife. Here you go.
Alrighty, let me get to it.
Oh dear. So as you all take a few moments to kind of quiesce the plan and grab the potions of disguise and take a moment. Oh, I would have missed.
Disadvantage, but
looking a little bit different and slightly altered in the face, and having that quick discussion, you do note that the other members of the group, so Lara, Sterling, and Kaelin, beginning to kind of take on a different visage with disguised self. But as the Magicianess and Weiss appear, Carrot's Carrot. He's not too fast. He is who he is.
I was very confused about the conversation about like why we're trying to have to see this guy and to think we're not as competent as we are.
we'll be competent,
Confusing.
but we don't want him to be too, what do you call it? We'll be very competent, but not like, oh, look, these are elite mercenaries from Neverwinter, if you know what I mean.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, you've got the important part. You're going to have to pull us off to say this is your crew back from wherever the hell you come from.
That should be easy.
So we'll like set up some targets, and then we'll have a go at it. So we'll also like, besides not just donning on the potions, we'll probably change to more nondescript clothing anyway.
Okay. Sounds good.
Everything about Lara is nondescript.
With like hoods though, like just cover our faces as well, just in case disguise self sort of fails.
Out of character, how come you three have to disguise yourselves just because you're on a secret mission? Is that it? Like,
that's it.
We're actually
Sterling was kind enough to purchase them for us because we are heroes.
We don't want people knowing.
Yeah.
Like in this town where we are, we're well known. Like
yeah.
And
It's
not
like
fair
calling
enough.
them shit.
here are the saviors of Neverwinter. It's like
Yes.
Excellent. So, standing before you, probably relatively prominent, you do see a very nice looking inn which has its name written above it, which is the Jester's Crown. It's definitely very well furbished, and the smells of breakfast are already beginning to waft out of the doors, which seem to defy the fog that is kind of cloying the streets. It certainly seems to live up to its reputation as a very well-to-do establishment. You can see colourful buntings hanging but motionless, no wind across the street. You can see that preparations for the Festival of the Moon are well underway. You can also see the shadowy figures of what you can very quickly assume are the Baron's staff, is probably the easiest way to summarise it. You also see at the end of the clearing is the outline of a very sizable caravan. The woodwork looks beautiful, and you can see that there are 4 mounts that are tethered and clacking their hooves against the cobblestones. Looking closer, the craftsmanship appears to be elven and very high quality. I'm going to go ahead and share a little handout with you guys so you can see what this caravan actually looks like. Here we go. Show it to everyone. Let's try this out.
what the fuck?
Wow.
So it
Oh my
is
god, it's loading so slowly.
decked out. You can see that there is beautiful filigree work that seems to be across the sides of it. The place where the mounts are yoked, there seems to be a small door that seems to work as like a small almost residence, and has the ability to basically expand out to be a shop front, show off wares, take to market, all that kind of stuff. So look, it looks like it's definitely the goods. It looks pretty good. As you're kind of looking at it through the mist, you can hear a voice that you've heard before, definitely the Baron, remarking that, "Do you like what you see?"
Lara lets out a low whistle, which I cannot do in real life. Thank you.
Nice.
Are we there?
Absolutely. And a quick description as well. Are you guys in disguise, or let yourselves known to the rest of the group and then donning your disguise, I guess?
I think we all meet together as a group beforehand, make sure we all get our story straight, and then just before we leave, we disguise up.
Choke.
So that the dwarves aren't suddenly like, oh, who are these guys? You know,
Yeah,
we're
good
going to
call.
make sure that they're like, I mean, they're going to find out who we are as soon as the thing drops when we leave anyway. So we want to make sure that they understand that we don't want anybody knowing we're leaving. And you know,
I feel like maybe you, Sterling, can look like yourself, and the rest of us will slightly before we meet up just to like take the potions just in case.
whatever you want, that's fine. But Matt, this is like you. This is
Yeah.
all you, Matt. Like you're gonna have to like.
Carrots
This is
up.
my crew, my team. This is the cool shit they can do.
Oh no, he's responsible.
Sounded so confident before.
Like we'll back you up with like we can do shit, but you're gonna have to convince them that you know.
I'd like to just keep in mind that despite the disguise, like I've just got like dragon scowls like randomly adorned around me on my clothing.
This is why you change into nondescript clothing. You can put on your cool stuff later.
Fine, it's under the cloak.
Wow. I'm not even using my nifty hand crossbow. I've just purchased myself like a light crossbow and a longbow just to show these guys stuff.
Oh god.
Do manual handling. Manual handling. Tell which course I've been developing recently. I'd like to do a animal handling check.
Yeah.
On the horses to see which one, whether they're sick, whether they're well nourished, that kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Roll away.
And I'll say in advance, the intention is to basically show him that I know, like, how to look after myself, as well as, like, identifying faults in perhaps in his cart, saying I can tell you that horse will die first of all. That one's lame, so you've got to watch out for this. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
that kind of thing.
Absolutely. So at a quick glance, and it's a really good roll, you can tell that these are good horses. From the standpoint of Southerners anyway, with your insight with that roll, you can tell that, look, they're fine steeds, they're well rested, they're well fed, they're ready to go, but you can tell that they are not going to survive long in the South. It's almost an insult to think that they're going to be able to make the entire trip. And yes, that horse had strawberry bubblegum 2 days ago.
All right. Yeah, that's a thing I'll retain when it comes to like, okay, what do you bring? If it comes up, then that's
Nice.
cool. All right.
Awesome. All right, I guess this is going to be Carrot that's up. You can see standing at the top of a small flight of stairs. You can see Baron Thaddeus. He looks as though he hasn't changed his clothes since the gala, or possibly been to bed yet. You can see that the courtyard is very well populated with his people. Generally thuggish-looking brutes that are openly wearing their weapons, that being a combination of scimitars and crossbows. And you can see two other figures that stand out. One is a broad-shouldered man with a shaved head, holds himself with the poise of a fighter, and he has a flail at his waist, and there is a shield resting on the stairs by his leg. Further back, you can see a pale tiefling. She's dressed in an impeccable velvet red cloak, long black hair cascading down her back, and very elegant horns that are curling up from her brow. She seems unarmed, but very, very confident. It's at this point that the Baron just kind of looks down at Carrot and says, "Well, let's talk business."
Well, sounds good to me. So, what are you looking for in your guards? Skills, strength, something more devious?
Things that aren't dead. Do you think you can...
As you can see, they all seem to be breathing behind me, as far as I can tell.
Breathing now. Between here and 10 towns, I think a couple of them are going to stop doing that.
I mean, there's a bunch of them. We can probably find a chapel and get that sorted out as well. But who are all these friends you brought?
They're of my employ. If you were to ascertain that they are my hired protection, that's one essence, but also colleagues, friends even.
So are they going to be joining us?
We'll get to that bit a bit later, but first, I don't know you from a lick of a horse's ass. I want a deposit.
Yeah.
How much?
1,000 gold to buy in.
Pull out my coin pouch. I got 15 gold in it. Okay.
That's awesome. He's gonna roll perception. Oh no, he's got shit perception.
How much gold are we meant to start with, actually? Because I can't remember. I should have...
There's some in the kitty. You would have... Actually, the Magicianess and Weiss would have a bit of coin behind them from your winnings. But this is on carrot at the moment.
Yeah.
Look,
Sterling's gonna say in Undercommon, he's gonna say, "Hey, big man, which one of your colleagues don't you like? Which one's the least one that you don't mind going home without?"
I'm listening intently.
You see him crack a very wide smile. Actually, I'll move everyone into the courtyard if they don't mind, just in case, I don't know, something happens. I'm going to say the two dwarves are just hanging back. They're pretending to look at the horses, but they are absolutely fixed on what's going on. They don't seem very competent. Just a kind of footnote, the dwarves don't seem very competent from a combat standpoint, but they're both wielding warhammers. So look, they can swing them. They just probably aren't going to be too great with them. Right, I'll bring Carrot up. Weiss is
no,
probably
I
hanging
thought we were... Because Sterling was asking which one the guard didn't like.
So the Baron just smiles at Sterling and also replies back in Undercommon as well. Demonstration, I take it. Show your worth, show your proof. He'll click his fingers, and one of the figures steps forward and unsheaths his scimitar. But the Baron just smiles and points at Carrot. He says, "But him, not you."
So, I'm confused. Who's he pointing to?
He's
Carrot.
pointing to Carrot. He wants Carrot to go toe to toe with the guy that's just stepped forward.
I don't know.
Like,
I don't get it. Like, that's still an Undercommon. Like, do you do your fighting? So how about he fight you? I mean, or like we're the ones who do the killing. He does the thinking.
Roll.
I look up at Sterling. I'm like, "Don't worry, Spalding. I've got this."
Oy. I was gonna say roll persuasion, but Carrot's stepping up.
All right.
I also met him last night and got really drunk, so I barely know his name.
Nice. All right. As Carrot looks at the thug who's holding scimitar in hand, and you can't see his face well, but you definitely get a sense that he's smiling. I'm gonna get you to roll initiative.
Wait, everyone?
No, just Carrot.
Oh. I want to go. I want to roll initiative just to know what it feels like.
It's been so
That's okay,
long.
because the other guy rolled an 8.
How can you tell?
Yeah.
Because I have portent.
Oh, funny. Oh, excellent.
So remember to highlight your token before you roll initiative.
Oh shit! Sorry. I actually rolled a 16. I don't know if I can put that in.
I think
just roll.
you're
Roll
going
it
to
again.
beat his roll. His roll was really bad.
Just roll it again, Matt, and then you can override it.
What?
So click on the 3 now, on the turn order, and change it.
I'll sort you out. Oh, there we go. Good stuff. Okay, so here's an example of how our combat goes now. So as soon as I hit descending, we're going to see a couple of new things. So as I go, it highlights it's Carrot's turn right now. He's got a timer that is ticking down. And once you've finished your turn, you'll notice that over on the right-hand side now, you can actually click done. I'm finished, and it will move over to the next person.
So on the very right hand side, guys, can you see it where the combat tracker is on the very right?
What happens if I hit done? Can I try it?
I think it might boot him, but you can try. I'll just bring it back to his turn.
Give it a go.
It doesn't do anything.
I think Carrot's got to do it.
Damn it.
Just click done, Matt. I want to see what happens.
Yeah, click done, and it will move the focus over to the thug.
Oh, that's pretty
So
cool.
now it's his turn.
Oh my god, this is so fancy.
And then when I hit done,
I'm so glad I got the big screen for this.
hey,
Simon, you paying attention?
I'll show him all
I'll
the
try and
bits.
squeeze this.
All right, and back to Carrot. Okay, so Carrot, you're up. You've won the initiative run on that one. So this thug is standing scimitar in hand and ready to try and prove his worth, probably to the Baron as well as keeping himself paid. But you're up first.
I'll wink at him and then just kind of wave at him, and I'll cast Hold Person.
Okay, go for it.
And he rolls a 10 for the save.
Okay, using Portent. Okay, nice. So you see him just freeze and is paralyzed in position. What do you want to do next? He can't move.
Nope. So that means I hit with advantage, hey?
Believe so.
It's automatic crit. Automatic crit as well. It's the worst one in the worst. It's the worst status in the game.
So, how... Like, I look over at Stella, I'm like, so, how rough are we going to be here?
You can see at this point that the Baron's looking to the other two that are by his side, like, why isn't my guy attacking? And then they're starting to realize that you've messed him up somehow.
I'll just walk up to him and just nudge him over with my mace so he falls over.
Nice. So without really any real violence, you've seemed to have placated the situation. You can see that the Baron just kind of waves his hand dismissively, and the guy that's lying on the floor now, he's not moving. He's just completely and utterly stonewalled, not going anywhere anytime soon. The Baron just kind of laughing a little bit. It's like, impressive. Though I would have preferred a little bit more violence, but results are results.
So when he says that, I'll look around. Is there anything that looks like it's a solid structure that's not living?
He's standing on a flight of stairs at the moment, so he's about 5 feet, higher up than you are. I know that everyone seems like they're 5 feet taller than Carrot, but he's standing at the top of stairs.
There's boxes all around.
There are.
Can Kane throw a dagger at the stairs at his feet, just out of nowhere?
If you want to.
I was just gonna hit the boxes with my mace and smite at 4th level, but yeah, sure. Nice.
All right. As Kaelin flings the dagger and it just kind of hits the stairs at the Baron's feet, you see the more kind of burly fighter pick up his shield and begin to look in her direction, as well as the other tiefling off to his left is now holding a dagger in her hand as well and smiling at Kaelin.
Kaelin just kind of nods as if she's acknowledging the fact that he wanted more violence, and then just carries on to stand at attention kind of thing.
I'd like to get involved in this action if nobody minds.
Go for it.
I go to the man. I give you a free shot. You throw a dagger at me.
Oh, the guy. Okay, so the more militant looking one?
Yeah, the one who looks like he can handle a dagger. And then my aim is that as soon as he throws a dagger, I'm going to shoot the dagger out of, as it's heading towards me, out of the way, if that makes any sense.
All right.
I mean, I'm literally by that. That's amazing. Please do this.
Okay, hang on. Let me pull up his stats. I don't even know if he's got a dagger, but you know what? He's going to have a dagger on him at some point.
Well,
Who doesn't have a dagger on them? At least
whatever he
one.
wants.
Okay, it's not a big shot. Let's go. Nope, it's only a 7. I've just quickly rolled it. So you see he quickly kind of not encouraged, but he seems to kind of catch the drift from Sterling and quickly kind of not going for his flail, but just quickly kind of pulls a dagger out from his the inside of his lapel and just backhand throws it in Sterling's direction, which is 5 feet away or 10 feet away. So he seems like you get the gist that he's not going for a fatal strike, but he's just trying to go for an elbow, go for a shoulder.
All right, so Sterling's aim is to 1, shoot it, and then once, and then twice to knock it in a certain direction, and 3, like to pin it or hit it into a wall.
Nice.
You can shoot it 3 times? That's amazing.
I can shoot it a few more times. I'm a fighter. So, all right, so first shot. Let's have a go.
It's going to be super low DC. Oh, yeah, that's absolutely
armor class
fine.
30.
Absolutely. So just the bolt just pings and hits it dead on point.
All right, so then the next one, and again, it's just light crossbow. So armor class 16. I'm going to use what you call it though as well, precision.
Sure.
So that will make it 23.
More than enough. The 16 would have done it.
Right, and then the last one is just to, like I said, like pin it to like a wall somewhere or the stairs or
yeah,
something.
The stairs
so
are right there.
Let's go.
Oh,
That's armor
yeah.
class 26.
So literally, the thing is just shot in midair, kind of clipped and starts spinning and moving in towards the Baron's direction. And as it dips past the kind of the horizon of the stairs, that third shot just kind of bang, pinning it perfectly in place. You can see that everyone, or all of the thugs seem, except for the one that's paralyzed, seem to be absolutely mortified. But the 3, the Baron and the other 2, they're impressed. You can see that they're nodding, all in agreement. It's like, yeah, these are the ones.
Now, this is what Sterling says. I'm not interested anymore in the blah blah. Like he does blah blah, I do. You know, at a certain point in time, it's too much. So you don't need 1,000 gold thing. You're getting competent guards, and you know these battle hammer guys. You know their reputation. They don't screw people over. So we pay a reasonable rate, and then everybody makes money. Otherwise, how about we all kill each other, and whoever's left standing gets to take the wagon? What do you think?
You can hear the Baron start laughing. It's like,
while he does that, I'm just going to casually pick up the guy off the ground completely and just kind of seat him on the stairs.
Put him in a pose, come on!
Just the Baron now opting...
Actually, sorry, can I just
Go
finish that? I'm just going to, like when you're holding something that's really long and you've kind of got it leaning against your shoulder and you're bracing it low down with your arm and it's just kind of sticking up in the air. Yeah, I've got my arm wrapped around his legs and he's just sticking straight up.
By the way, I'm not even the scary one. The one behind me, she's the scary one. Pointed Laura.
You can hear the Baron laughing, and he seems to be... He's still in Undercommon. It's like, that's a point well pursued. I like it. All right. Tell you what.
Kaylin does do a quick little call out to Carrot. Can I please have my dagger back? I'm like, going to be
Mage,
really
hand it back subtly and move it back to her.
Thank you.
The Baron looking over to Sterling and looking down at the dagger. He's like, okay, I have a gift for you. How about no buy-in? You do this job. Let's see if you have a taste for it. And then we can talk about more long-term employment. He switches out of Undercommon from there. He's like, all right, I think we have an accord. Do you accept my gift? And he just kind of motions his hand over towards the caravan. I think you're competent to survive the trip, but one more thing. My associates will be joining you. This is Jasper, and he motions to the bald-headed guy, and Makalan, and he motions over towards the tiefling. They will travel with you to Luskan. This isn't negotiable, but I think this might be the beginning of a good relationship.
I'll thank him profusely. Because I don't speak other common.
No, I think he switched to common though, didn't he? When he talked
He
about
did
the
when he said, "How about a gift?" And then he gestured at the caravan. I'm like, "Oh, thank you."
Yeah. Alright, so, but, your associates die? That's your problem.
Understood, and it is my problem. They'll hold their own. So at that, you see the one that's known as Jasper, which I'll turn on his nameplate so we can figure out who is who.
Please.
And the other, the two of them, or Jasper picks up his shield in his backpack, and Markalan picks up her travel bag slung over one shoulder and nods, like the upward chin nod towards Jasper. And without a word, they both take position on the back of the caravan and stow their gear pretty quickly. They knew that this was going to come, so they were prepared, ready to go.
Sorry, what nameplates are getting turned on?
Just the other two NPCs.
I can't see them.
Give me just a sec.
I can see Darlan and Barton.
They will
Oh,
light
okay.
up in just a
It's
second.
loaded for me. My internet is shocking.
Nope. I just need to turn on the C thing.
Do you see what I see?
There we go.
If anyone else knows that reference, I feel very sorry for them.
Alright, and they're gonna move towards the back of the caravan and just kind of like hanging off the back of a tram.
Can anyone else see their names?
Should be able to see
No,
them.
No one else can? Good, not just me.
It should update in a sec. Oh, what the hell? Save.
Either way, what are their names again?
The guy is named Jasper,
Jasper.
and Jasper with a J. Yeah, it's not saving my changes, which is odd.
And which? Sorry. Oh, I saw a flicker.
Yeah, and then it's unsaving itself, which is weird.
Lovely.
And I'll deal with that in a sec.
Thank you very much.
That's fun. Hey, permission player, player permissions. C. Save edit. And then, no, I don't want to save that. What a jerk. Okay, no, I'll deal with that another time. Okay, fair enough. So I just popped the two names into Roll20. All right, so the two of them picking up their spots and seem to be ready to go. What would you guys like to do next?
Well, which one am I holding?
So this guy, who's one of the general thugs who was the one that stepped up to the challenge, but he's the one that's currently paralyzed.
I'm gonna look up and think about it, and like shrug and just put him back down. Probably don't need this.
You telling me that little boy lifted that man?
Yep.
Such a weird little boy.
He's pretty strong. He is strong.
I can't see the nameplates. Are we meant to?
No, I can see the nameplate setting keeps reverting every time I say save. Then it just goes back to square one. So I'll deal with that later down
Another
the
one.
track.
Yep.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well, Lara would like to get to and I do love that someone's changed my name to very fancy writing that I can barely read.
Oh yeah.
Seems oh so fitting. Lara's just going to get 2 and she's going to sit up front with the driver.
I was like, well, who the hell's going to drive this thing?
Oh, not me. I
Are
do
you
not have that
sure?
capability.
Who has
Yes,
good animal
this-
handling?
Character doesn't
right.
have great
Sterling,
animal handling.
Sterling has the tool proficiencies for vehicles land and vehicles water, so he can actually do it.
Oh.
That's convenient.
Like he's got the skill because
Weiss is also pretty handy.
I have the navigation, like I can navigate. I've got navigator's tools, cartographer's tools, so you
Right.
drive, I'll tell you where to go.
It's like every relationship I've ever been in.
Is is this a caravan with like windows and such? Like, is this like a massive caravan, isn't it?
It is massive.
Is it? Yeah, it's big enough for everyone to shelter inside. Is that the idea?
Well, check it out. Maybe give me a perception roll.
Is it bigger in the inside? I've got 17 passive investigation, if that helps.
It's a TARDIS.
It's a TARDIS.
I'm
no,
really
no.
surprised.
Hermione Granger made this.
Exactly.
It's like the tents in Harry Potter.
Exactly.
With the dwarves, are we going to go pick up their gear, their shipment?
They've
They
got
make their shipment.
They've got everything that they need on them. From the conversation that you had previously, their shipment that they were bringing to Neverwinter was successful. It's just Darlan lost his caravan because he wagered it in a card game and lost it. So now he just needs to get back to 10 towns. So he doesn't have anything else that he needs to
Don't we
cart
actually
around.
we don't want to take anything up to 10 towns to sell?
Up to you guys. Well, foregoing the perception roll, looking in, look, this is a big, basically moving tiny house. Is the short of it. But when you look in, where you could see that there would be plenty of room to be able to lie down, shelter, maybe even sleep while you're traveling, looking inside, everything is filled with barrels. The thing is absolutely jam-packed, filled with barrels.
Okay, so he's already... I'm confused, but anyway.
Mm.
He's doing his thing. The dude we're working for is already filled it up with trade goods.
That's right. That's right. And they're all the same barrels. They are unmarked. There is no kind of like house sigil on them. They're all just very nondescript. It looks like they're very well sealed. And that's as far as you can tell so far.
I'm going to ask someone what our cargo is. What we're hauling.
Who are you going to ask?
Probably I'm gonna speculate with Darlin, so I won't be sitting on top. But yeah, I'll speculate with Darlin,
Hmm.
and then I might go to Jasper as a secondary, introduce myself, and then speak to Jasper to see if he knows.
All right. So
So I'm gonna sort of Darlin first of all and say, hey, is this? We all know this guy isn't legit, but would he carry anything that might attract unwanted attacks on the road, more so than usual, or what does he usually carry?
nice. So
barrel.
Darlan, taking the moment, is like, well, he's a shady bastard. So I'd say there's anything from dead children to gold in there. It could be anything. He takes a quick peek, kind of moving around to the side and kind of motioning to Barton to do likewise on the other side. And both of them pretty curious, looking in and trying to figure out what the hell it is. But with his roll, he has no idea. He says, I don't know, could be mead, it could be, looks like liquid because it's sealed, but I can't tell.
I might just try and go up and have a bit of a look and see if I can see what's actually in the barrel.
Sure.
In the barrels.
Give me a perception or investigation roll. It'd be pretty easy to get a hand in there and start feeling around.
Let's go perception. Oh, cats.
It's enough.
12.
Look, I'm gonna say that with your knowledge and your familiarity with the north as well, these barrels remind you of something. They remind you of whale oil, which is obviously something that's very, very good at being lit, relatively volatile, not explosive, just flammable. And as you can imagine, probably fetches a pretty price for somewhere like 10 towns at the moment.
Yeah, right. Very shrewd. Okay. I kind of look anxiously towards the magicianess and maybe to anyone else who's looking at me do this. But I don't say anything. I just kind of acknowledge it and look a little bit. Kind of take a breath, like take a breath. Step back and kind of just go, okay.
What did you discover?
You're saying that to me?
No, out of character.
The barrels are full of whale oil, which is like highly flammable, so maybe on a mobile bomb.
Whale?
Fair enough.
Or what?
A whale.
Oh, are you making perfume?
Soap. No, it's
I
that.
don't think that's
Well,
the
once the
intention this
dwarves
time.
would be very, very clean.
Do we have
Smell like-
do we have any space to add our own, like,
As-
trade goods, or is it true chockers for that?
It's absolutely jam-packed. All of the space on the inside has been taken up with the cargo.
All right, that's fine.
For
It is what
trading
it is.
goods, there's probably no space, but for holding your personal items themselves, there's plenty of room on the outskirts or on the roof of the caravan.
I think we're
Kaylin
gonna-
climbs up to the roof and like dangles her feet between Lara and Sterling.
Okay.
Perfect.
So, like these. Okay, sorry. Just out of interest, Sterling would sort of know at least the general geography, nothing specific, but because Wayne doesn't. So, where's Luskin in relation? Is it like Neverwinter, Luskin, then 10 towns? Or
Yeah.
where is it?
That's really
We've
good.
been given a map that I can read.
So
Okay,
you've-
but I'd like to see a visual thing if that's all right.
Yeah, absolutely. So that'll be the next map that I send on through to. We'll go back to the map. So just and Lara would probably be able to fill the group in on this. So the travel time to Luskin. So it's 145 miles from Neverwinter to Luskin. With this setup, you can travel 15 miles per day. I think it's every 6 days the beast or the mounts will need to take a day of rest. So basically it's going to take a 10-day to get to Luskin. Plus, I think it basically works out to 9.5 days of straight travel and then one rest day for the beasts to not get exhausted or something along those lines.
Or you said 60 miles away? How many miles away?
So
Okay, we just taken the main road.
145.
100 or something.
145 miles.
145 miles.
All right, so we're going north along the coastal road all the way to Luskin.
That's it. And then from Luskin, it cuts over and there's a specific pass. I've got a map for it as well. But it's another 200 miles from Luskin to Bryn Shander, which is big. It's going to be a hell of a journey. That'll take about 13 days, plus 2 days of rest for the mounts as well.
Okay.
So there's a bit of a journey ahead.
Brilliant. All right, well then, I assume everybody's got what they need, like no last-minute purchases.
Was I able to get a potion of restoration? I don't know how much they are, because I'll obviously have starting gold, but
Yeah, and you'd have gold from the winnings that you and the Magicianess had from your fun escapades at the Driftwood Inn as well. So look, you would have enough gold to buy a potion of restoration. Probably two, at least.
You can have them, yeah.
I've got two.
I want to talk to the tiefling. I just sort of, make casual chit chat. I suspect she's a spellcaster of some sort, just because she looks like the type. And I go, so do you happen to know Counterspell by any chance?
See her pause for just a second and look. I'm guessing the magicianess would be kind of looking down from the roof, kind of chin in hands, kind of kicking her heels and head bobbing from side to side. But oh geez, let me pull up her sheet just so I can remember what she is actually capable of. You see her just kind of smile up towards. It's a very cool and calm, collected smile that she delivers over to the magicianess. But she says, "I dabble in the arcane, but I don't see why it would be important for you to understand my capabilities."
Well, I just thought we could, do a magical tag team. Us spell slingers must stick together.
Spells are nice, but nothing cuts like a blade.
Noted.
I guess the question then maybe is, when we look at the tiefling, we give the tiefling a once-over. Does the tiefling look like a spellcaster? Like, do they carry robes or very light armor? Do they have like a spell focus and components around them?
Not that you can see. She's very compact. From the assumptions that you can draw, that the Baron is Zent, and these two are obviously of the same ilk. There's very little about her that really gives away her abilities. From what you noticed before, when she produced a dagger, when Kaelin threw something, not really the kind of thing that a spellcaster would probably produce when under duress. But then again, that could have been misdirection.
Okay, well, what about muscles and so forth? So does he look very wiry? Does the bald-headed guy look like he's flexing, like he's got bigger? What I mean? Like
the big guy looks. The big guy looks buff as fuck. Whereas
what weapon does he carry?
He's got a flail. He's got a flail and he's got a shield. So he seems relatively defensive. If you were going to make a guess.
And if does his shield have a holy symbol on it, or does he wear a holy symbol at all?
It doesn't. You can't see any holy symbol.
Okay, so he's probably not a paladin. He's probably not a cleric. Probably.
Is his shield red and gold with the face of a devil on it?
No, it is not.
No.
He's got the Zorro symbol on him.
Yes, he does. But the tiefling is very lean. She seems very slight, but she also seems... there's an air of grace about her as well.
So if we had to guess, we got a tiefling assassin and some sort of barbarian fighter dude, or probably some fighter of some sort.
Guess as you may. Nice. All right. So as we start moving off, you do note that so Sterling starting the convoy and kind of beginning the journey. Both of all four of the horses kind of beginning to strain and pull off, and the Baron just kind of staring towards Lara and Sterling as they make off, and nodding ever so slightly. Whether or not that's supposed to be some sort of well wish or something along those lines, who knows? But as you make your way through the kind of mist cloaked streets, it doesn't take very long for you to get to the northern gate of Neverwinter. It takes all of about 30 minutes. But as you start making your way closer towards the exiting gates, you do note that there's a lot more guards at the gate, and two of them kind of step forward and start crossing glaives to bar the path. I'm going to call out to Sterling, since you're driving this thing, what would you like to do?
Well, I'm not going to make a scene about it at the moment, so we sort of we stop and go.
All right.
What's the problem?
Now, one of the guards kind of walking over to the side. Just a quick check. Just needs your name and your business. What's your name? Where you going, and why?
We like a Battle Hammer Trading Company. We go up north. We trade.
You hear Darling kind of pitch in there. He's like, "Aye, we're pissing off up north again, so you won't see us for a few months." Go ahead and roll. It's not going to be a super high DC, and you've got advantage on this because Darlin's kind of helping out, and it's the truth. Just persuasion.
I should
Oh,
really
but it's the truth. Why do we need to persuade him?
I really need to shut up because I have negative to persuasion.
Hey.
Oh, well, here we go.
You do have
no.
advantage. It's enough. That's hilarious. Any
Why
other
do these stupid
instance,
guards always get in the way?
it was whether or not if it was going to come off as way too dodgy and they start doing a search. But he just nods. He goes, "All right, on your way. See ya." And they kind of step back, parting ways so that you can basically begin your journey. So as the... oh, go for it.
Not knowing our party, like, who is the one who can persuade and who's the one who can talk well?
No.
Lara equals
Isaac,
no.
Is that you?
I have some performance. I have a positive to persuasion, but it's not much.
Alright, so from now on, when we get into
Relative.
these situations, it's still better than us, so we push you up front.
Oh dear.
And then it's a persuasion and a +8 to deception.
There you go.
Oh, there you go then.
Excellent. So look, as you break through the gates and the fog begins to dissipate and spread in the open expanse of the road, you can see cloudy skies ahead, painting a scene of muted green and the faint pitter-patter of rain beginning to lightly fall. But you're out of Neverwinter. You are back on the road. I'm just going to flick us over so we can have a look at the journey that is in front.
Sterling says out loud, but still in his sort of foreign accent, goes, "I wonder what the hell is that about? Like, usually you don't have so many guards. I wonder what's going on."
Play my hand Sterling's arm and be like, "It's probably nothing. Let's not worry about it. It's behind us now."
Quite literally.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Okay, you know what you're doing, so yeah, sure.
So,
Well, it wasn't me, and it doesn't involve me, so that's all we need to be concerned about.
Oh,
And then quickly leans down and goes, "It wasn't me either."
and I look back up at you and I go, "Are you sure?" Like,
And me or Caleb.
Kaylin.
Kaylin like pauses for a second and actually looks like she's really seriously thinking about it. Like, no, it wouldn't be me.
Okay. You sort of hear I sort of believe you, but you know, past experience shows otherwise.
And the thing is, Kaylin's like sitting there like thinking like, I didn't do anything, did I? Like, she's not looking certain either.
was it me? Did I do something? Who knows? All right. So the journey that is in front of you. So the next, oh God, how many days is it? So it's a good 10 day that is ahead of you.
Sorry, there is one other thing.
Of course.
So, like, Sterling looks back at the, the tiefling, and it says, "Now, my friend back there asked you what you can do. Now we want to know. Because I don't care about, betraying you. If I wanted you dead, you'd be dead. But if we get into a fight, I want to know what you can do, and we want to know now. So, how about this? You tell us what you can do, or we just kill each other now. What do you think?"
She just smiles as a, well, I can kill whatever it is that is trying to kill us.
But with what? A bow, a knife? You fight in combat? Do you, teleport between places? What are your capabilities so we know?
She just pulls a dagger out from her vest. Or actually, no. What she does do is she unbuttons her jacket, and you see her just kind of dangling off the side of the caravan. And as she opens up her the side of her coat, much like a used watch salesman or a hot goods salesman, you see her open the inside of her jacket, and it is lined with a ridiculous amount of daggers. There's probably at least about 8 daggers that are lined in the inside of her jacket. She just smiles and then closes it back again and fastens it back.
Okay, that's good enough. We know what you do now, so that's excellent. I can respect that.
You're better than me.
Yeah, nice to meet you.
I don't know if someone laughed at my mic or the dog laughed.
It was totally the dog. How many bottles
to
of wine have you drank?
I don't think
One.
we need to ask your companion. He seems to hit things hard. Use a shield. Use a flail. Good enough.
You don't even see him. You just hear like a grunt. It's like, ugh. All right.
Violent and deadly type.
So the travel before us, so the good 10 day between Neverwinter and Luskan, look, it's a lot of kind of grassland. It does kind of sit next to the Neverwinter wood. So look, absolutely there are things like raids, parties like goblins or gnolls, all that kind of stuff that seem to be opportunistic in the way that they try to pounce on a lot of the caravans or a lot of the trade that happens between the two towns. It's normal. Nothing too crazy. Trolls? Yeah, trolls. Absolutely trolls. So there is some expectations for the general kind of riffraff that would be on the road. But now is probably a good time to cover off on... Let's have a look at rest. So just to note, I'm going to... Basically, for our long rests from here on in, one must take off their armor when they do a long rest. If you join in combat while resting, a long rest is basically nullified, or it starts the 8-hour count from the beginning again. So a long rest is basically extended downtime. It's got to at least be 8 hours, and you can basically sleep or perform some light activities, reading, talking, eating, all that kind of stuff. Or you could stand watch for 2 hours. But if something goes down, then you're not resting anymore. You're then engaged in combat. But I'll keep everyone just kind of abreast. But just to understand...
We have to take out for our armor, you said, for a long rest.
That's right. Actually, this
does
is
that
gonna
matter
look
the
terrible.
type of armor? So if it's heavy, light, medium, all of it?
There are different ones.
I reckon I could sleep in leather.
So light armor will basically take you a minute to take it off and a minute to put it back on. So if something goes down, you've got a minute to jump back into combat. If you want to jump in with armor, you can choose to jump into combat without armor. You can go out in your nightshirt and start firing off if you want.
Yeah, but no combat's going to, like I'm saying, there'll be no, even if you had light armor, no combat's going to take more than a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my question is, do you need to rest with light armor? Is what I'm saying. Sorry, do you need to disarmor, whatever it is?
Yep.
True.
With light armor, or is it all armor?
It's all armor.
All armor. Okay,
That's
cool.
it. That's it. So what it basically means is the people that are on guard are protecting you guys. So if you're resting, your team is looking out for you. They are literally holding your life in their hands. So they
Wait. So if you're on watch, you can have your armor on.
Absolutely. So if you're on watch, or as long as you're not doing like the 2-hour stint through the long rest, if you're actually mindfully going, nah, it's all good, I'm going to stand watch and I'm going to be completely prepared for anything, then you're good to go. You're good to go. You're protecting your teammates that are resting.
Okay, cool. In my
Quick
notes.
note, Cam, if that ever comes up, Kaylin doesn't actually wear armor.
That's a good point.
Ooh.
And I believe the magicianess has... Is it glamoured or is it...
I do have glamoured armor, but I also have mage armor, which
There
I
we
can use
go.
on myself or others.
That's it. So you could pop up and bam. If
Weiss
if
doesn't
the
wear
need
armor either.
if the need is there, and Weiss doesn't have armor either. So we've got some hearty members, which is going to be really, really handy. But just so we know, if you do go into a long rest, then you need your team to look out for you as well. All right. So as we're moving on and we're getting back onto the road, so we've started off first thing in the morning, and we're going to be looking at covering the first of our 10 days of travel. So as we go on through, and look, it's relatively unremarkable closer to Neverwinter. The area is well patrolled. There's not many opportunistic things that crop up here for people or beasts or monsters to try and take advantage of anyone traveling at this closer a pace. So the first hour... No, go for it.
Sorry, quick note. How long did this disguise self last for?
That's a good question.
Can't
Yeah,
bring up
Isn't it 8 hours?
It's
potion.
gonna be a couple of hours. It's not gonna be long.
Okay.
But we'll have to, like, you keep in robes for as long as, like not in robes, you know what I mean?
Cloaks.
Cloaks.
It's just we're gonna have to deal with that when it wears off and they all start freaking out.
I think they'll know what's going on quick enough.
If we're well and truly out of Neverwinter, I mean, come on. Who knows us outside of Neverwinter? Like actually knows our faces.
No, that's fine, but these two guys will. So we can drop the disguise. I just concerned, that's all, because the whole point was to leave without us anybody knowing. And now, if any of them had the ability to communicate with their Baron friend, that's a problem.
Yeah,
Did
we're
you
gonna have to
research?
Sorry, second.
Search them.
I don't see how we can do that without an actual fight to the death sort of thing.
Yeah, strip search.
No witnesses.
At night, time down.
I don't think we're at that stage of our relationship yet.
Ooh, okay.
Wow.
Doesn't take some people very long.
Oh, touche.
I think they're more of a flowers and movies sort of thing before they go, straight to the
This explains so much.
chips, dips, and chains and whips. I think that's a little bit later down the track.
Well, I think we've covered chips and dips.
I'm just saying, I don't think we read the chains and whips part of our thing. I mean, look, at the end of the day, though, we can intentionally drop the disguise. They can go, but they won't, because they're professionals. They'll know that we're hiding.
That's a good point.
Okay.
I might over the 10-day try and use Zone of Truth on, let's say, Jasper, and see if I can find out, pry him for useful information. So if it's not eventful and it's the end of the day and we're about to bed down, we're having a chat, I might try and
we'll get there.
pry some information from him.
We will get there. So these guys are going to be traveling with you guys for quite a while. But yeah, we're just we're basically an hour in to the road between here and Luskin.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Very good. Okay. So as we continue on, the first couple of hours, very uneventful. The first half day, getting to midday, everything is absolutely fine. Things are moving to absolute perfection. Nothing really visible on the horizon. Both your new two kind of tag-along friends is probably stretching it, but they're just quiet. They don't speak. They don't say anything. They're very professional. They seem to be very focused and are just continuing on with what they need to get done. Let's go ahead. Okay, so pretty much. Let's see. Nope. Okay. Pretty much all the way through to nightfall is completely uneventful. You do get an essence that the mounts are beginning to slow down. And with Weiss, give me a quick animal handling check. I'm sure this is going to blitz it, but let's just see if you can pick up on their subtle subtext.
Oh,
yeah, easy. So as the sun goes down, they start to back off on their pace. And it's a clear assertion that, hey, these things are used to resting when the sun goes down, which is relatively... It's not uncommon. It's probably just a little bit annoying for you guys to kind of... Oh, jeez. I've just noticed that my son is currently up and partying. I can see a video of him out in the lounge room. He's very naughty.
Oh, send us.
I'm not sure if I will be able to.
That's alright.
I'll give it a shot.
Do you need to take a break to go deal with your son?
No, it's okay. It's all good. I'll try pop it in here.
He doesn't walk though, right?
Not yet. There
That's
we go.
why I want a picture.
There we go. Video's in there.
I thought
Aww.
He
So
is
cute.
on the move. He'll be crawling soon.
Oh, he's gonna be walking and flirting soon.
Jesus Christ, not yet.
I think you've
please.
jumped ahead there a little too far.
No, not as far as you think.
No, he's flirting. He's looking at the camera. He's flirting.
And that is pretty cute.
Yeah.
He is on the move. Crazy. But yeah, the general consensus is that you can tell that these mounts are used to resting at night. And as the sun goes down, it's up to you guys if you want to start pushing them forward or if you want to bring them to the first kind of camp for the session.
No, I think we can, but I don't think it's a good idea to push them. I think we want to get there in as one piece as we can.
Nice.
Do we
We're
have
not-
a time limit upon our journey?
Yeah, we're not in a particular hurry, are we?
Not that you know of.
Oh, that's encouraging.
Look, I mean, I can't tarry. Like, we can go the number of days it takes us to go there as a normal thing, but I mean, it's not like we're going to take side adventures like days out of our journey. If that makes any sense?
Yeah.
Because I do have a place I have to be. So
Yeah, like we're still getting there, but we don't need to hoof it.
no, this is not a case of that we're told we have to like drive them into the ground. Actually, Sterling does say something along the lines of, "These are the sort of animals that are right going into the snow or the tundra."
Weiss says no. No, they'll die.
No.
Very
Excellent.
blunt. I love it.
I'm assuming then when we get to Luskin, we're gonna have to trade them over to something else then.
If we want to make it alive, yes.
Okay. Well, it's fine. I mean, I assume we can get to Luskin, right? That's like that's non-frozen territory.
Yeah.
Luskin's right on the border.
Your knowledge of the general area, Luskin is not a place that freezes over. It's very, very close to some of the more kind of snowy extremes, but yeah, Luskin itself isn't really touched by the snow too much.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. So,
Isn't
go for it.
I was just going to say, isn't Luskin quite renowned for being quite rough?
I would say Weiss would be very much aware that Luskin is basically a town or a city of cutthroats and murderers. It's rough.
Yeah.
It is definitely a rough place.
Mos Eisley, a den of.
Pretty much.
I want to go with the bar with like the what do they call them? The Jizz Whalers. That's their names, isn't it?
Ori?
The what?
Jizz Whalers. I'm not kidding. That's like the
Oh,
I don't know,
dear.
the guys that play in the Mos Eisley Cantina.
That's right.
Oh,
Ah.
yeah, that sounds familiar.
But the real question is, who's going to shoot
Okay.
first?
Sterling.
I'm gonna send you a picture of a jizz whaler.
Oh, Jesus. And just to complicate things, we're carrying whale oil. This is just... It's going to a bad place.
At least we're not whaling in Jersey.
That's true. Bob Marley and the Wailers?
Take that one step.
I wonder if the oil has come from sperm whales.
Oy. I'm sorry, Jess. You just had to take it too far.
It's an actual type of whale!
It's fine. It's a kitty.
I feel like this has all gone on a little bit too long.
Okay. So a couple of hours in.
Couple of hours
the
in.
horses are-
So the horses are ready to kind of rest or take it easy for the rest of the evening, from what you can gather. But the question now is, do you guys want to break camp, and who wants to rest? Ideally, staving off any sort of exhaustion is always a good idea. But let's see. What have I got here?
Kaylin is happy to take watches.
I'll take our watch.
Cat's already asleep.
Yeah, I'll take a watch.
All right, let's have a look.
Arrett better learn to pull his weight, otherwise he's gonna get a hard poke.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
I want to.
Kaylin
Go
will
ahead.
take.
Nazzy, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just gonna say Kaylin will take a midnight watch just because she sees in the dark aesthetically well.
Good idea.
I can see at night, but my vision is aided, so I probably still prefer first or last. I'll go first, actually.
I sent a photo of the jizz whalers.
I want to take watch with Sterling at some point because he's a fellow human.
These humies have got to stick together.
All right.
No, like, it would make sense that it would not make sense for us to be, in the pitch black together. So we'd probably be in the same shift.
Yeah, no, that sounds great. Just don't show me the chest that turns you into pink mist.
Oops.
What the?
Chunky salsa.
I mean, yeah. No, I think she's a bit traumatized from that.
Oh dear.
No, I think she's just seen Wayne's photo.
Yeah.
So this is going to be our little camp scene.
It's so cute. It's so snowy.
Yeah. It's obviously not snowing just yet, but hey, by the time we're breaking camp on an often occasion, we're going to be in snow. So this will just be our little... when we break camp, this will be the spot that we come to basically... Yeah, roll for encounters, pretty much.
Lara would like to keep her back to the rock, off to, like, up against the rock, off to herself, sort of thing, so she can write in her diary.
Nice.
Does anybody not be able to see?
In the dark?
As
Or
in,
Map might be loading.
oh, I had to like zoom in, zoom out for it to work.
I see the snow and all that.
Ah.
I see the campsite.
Yeah, looks good.
Very pretty.
Though it is it's this top left-hand corner of the map, so it's also
That's
only
true.
takes up a chunk of the map.
Nah.
Refresh.
No. I think you have to change the vision on my token, Cam.
Oh, I don't
Refresh.
think I've got vision turned on.
I don't think it's a refresh. I've zoomed in, I've zoomed out. I've used all the tricks that we used to have for like descent to Avernus, and it's not working.
Well, mine's fine, and I'm human.
Ah.
It just might be a setting in your token compared to mine. I don't think it's a human thing.
No dynamic lighting turned on.
But can I like see in dark, see up to 60 foot, that sort of thing?
Yeah, it shouldn't be
Or dark?
dynamic lighting's not turned on in any way, shape, or form. You should be able to see just fine. It's a pretty small map.
I believe you. Just no.
It's just really dark.
It's like
Pitch black.
it's like stars. I'd almost say if I didn't know better, I'd say I'm traveling like at light speed.
Oh, you're in that screensaver.
Oh, I remember that.
I miss that screensaver.
It was amazing. All right. Well, given we've only kind of got a couple of minutes left until the end of the session, I won't roll for the encounter just yet. But who was going to take the first watch?
Me.
Lara.
Because I'm sitting there writing. I want to write it in my diary. It's important that I do that before I go to sleep.
I'm more worried about the two dickheads that we have with us. What watches are they taking? Or are they not taking watches?
They haven't.
I
offered
don't
up
even
yet.
know who you're referring to.
You know, like knife lady and like flail guy.
Oh, Tweedledum and Tweedledee.
Michael and Jasper.
Knife lady and flail guy. Oh, that's weird. My token's being thinky. Oh, did I have my token on audio?
Let's just not have them take watches. Let's us just take the watches.
So long as they're paired up with someone.
So who's taking first watch with me?
And I will if you
Ouch.
wake me up. I've already had a good snooze in the back of the wagon. I'll be good for 2 hours.
Yeah, refresh did work.
Okay, good stuff.
All right. So who can see in the dark naturally? Is it just Kaylin?
I can.
All right. So my
60 foot.
advice would be Carrot and Lyra at first watch, and Kaylin and Weiss, you know, like the middle watch, and then me and Magician S in the third watch, because that's essentially that's it. It's 2 per watch. It's 3 of us, and then maybe we just have a, you know, I don't know, a 2 hour sort of relaxing in the morning before we get up, sort of thing.
For the DM's note, I pop my goggles on, which give me the 60 feet of night vision.
Very nice.
Yes, me too. But does that sort of make is everybody okay with that? It's just that way the people who can see normally in darkness can get the middle watch.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And I think
Sounds totally fine.
Kaylin gets a little more dark vision than the rest of us anyway. So I think I'm not entirely sure if after I get like 120 foot or not.
I get 120 foot in both natural and magical darkness. So.
Oh, well,
You
then
also
that, yeah,
have
cool.
Devil Side
Yeah.
as well, don't you?
Oh, of course, it's the warlock thing. Yeah, yeah. So it'd be best that you take them to one. Yeah. All right. So is everybody cool with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what we do, Cam.
Sounds like a plan. All right. Save us kind of getting into any encounters so late in the session. Look, I think I'll just call it there for tonight's one. That was good. It was really, really awesome. I enjoyed that. I think Carrot did a damn good job of being as passive as possible.
I love the portent. That's just like awesome.
Yeah.
You fail. Sorry.
Really good.
I mean, that was going to go one of 2 ways when I looked back at Sterling. It's either like, you know, we're still being nice, or he's a red mist. Because I didn't know it was. Oh, I thought it was just advantage. I didn't know it was a crit as well. I'm like, cool. What can I cast at 4th level?
It's you still have to roll to hit him, but it's that roll to hit's at advantage. But if you do hit, it's an auto crit.
Ooh.
So I don't know. I'm sure whatever you did would be really, really nasty. And being paralyzed is the worst. Besides being dead, is probably the worst status effect in the game.
It is. It's freaking horrible.
Oh, I'm going to have to use more of that.
Mhm.
Oh shit, 60 foot range too.